Welcome to my channel, Viscaria ASMR. Tonight, I am going to show you some traditional Chinese paper cuttings that were given to me by some students of mine back when I lived in China. They gave them to me in these folders, and I haven't moved them yet. I think I might like to frame a couple and put them up because it would be nicer for them to be on display rather than hidden away. But let's take a look first, and maybe I can choose a couple. And this says, this paper insert, "Dear teacher, Merry Christmas, Andy." And he printed out this picture of a wintry scene with Santa and a snowman and another Santa. As an aside, Santa seems to be a popular import to China. He's not seasonal, so you can find little pictures of Santa up on the walls of restaurants year-round. They're kind of like these paper cutouts. They often have glitter on them, and he's always got a rosy nose and rosy cheeks. So, just an interesting cultural import. Okay, but let's see the paper cuttings. So this one is a traditional Chinese mask from Beijing opera. And I don't know if you're familiar with Beijing opera. It's a bit different than Western opera, but they wear these beautiful, elaborate costumes. And so this would be one of the male masks that might be worn. And here's another version. I'm not entirely certain how he did this. I don't know if he traced these or did it by hand, but either way, I don't know how you cut a perfect circle or cut out the eyes like this. I think that would be really tricky. So maybe he did it with a knife and not scissors. I don't know. But Andy, he was sort of quiet and creative, and I can really imagine him sitting quietly and cutting paper after paper until he became really good at it. So these are all slightly different, as you can see by the forehead. This one is round, the last one was more pointy. This one kind of reminds me of a Cardassian from Star Trek, if you're into that. I think the main word for them was spoonhead. So this one doesn't have the big sort of beardy thing going on, or whatever was covering the bottom of his face. I do like this winged eyeliner that he has. These are really cool markings. But yeah, and now I don't know, did Andy make all these designs himself? Or was he copying from a book or from some traditional designs? It's very cool. This one looks a little bit sadder. He's got this downturned mouth. This looks kind of like an Om sign. He's got these dramatic eyebrows. These also kind of remind me of Mexican wrestler masks. Just the paper cuttings too. In real life, they don't look at all like. Oh, this one's very cool. It's much swirlier. it's not symmetric on both sides. This is a super cool mask. Look at this facial hair. He's got sort of a handlebar, maybe the most intense handlebar I've ever seen, coming down below his mouth, actually. So it's like a handlebar beard, but then also a goatee that drops below his chin. I'm not sure. It's very cool. And this kind of looks plant-like to me. I like that. This one has another sad mouth, sort of downturned eyes, and this cool little pattern by the bridge of his nose. This kind of looks like snakes to me. It's very cool. This one has the most detailed nose we've seen so far. It's very cute, and he's got these small, narrow eyes. Covered head, no mouth. Oh, interesting. So this one's kind of reversed, where he's all red, and he's not cut out except for his eyebrows. And this mark up here kind of makes him look like a monk. So that was the first book. And the second book, yeah, that's what I thought. It's also from Andy. And he wrote, "Dear teacher, with best wishes for a happy birthday, your student, Andy." And this says, "Shang'er Kuala," which means happy birthday. These are going to be a little harder to see because he didn't put them on a background, so let's get this in here. So this is really nice. I saw ones like this everywhere. We have a butterfly here and a flower, possibly a chrysanthemum, and another one here, and then all this foliage in a round shape. It's really nice. Okay. A stray pencil. Okay. This one's really cute. It's two children, two girls holding lanterns in their hands, and one's sort of on top of the other. It's very cute. They have these big, expressive eyes. And these lanterns. Oh, and the lanterns have letters on them. I didn't even realize that. This one says ping. Ping, which means peace. And this one says un. 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 The un means it also means peace, but more like quiet, like a quiet peacefulness, whereas ping is more of like a harmonious peacefulness. It can also mean like balance, things like that. Okay. This one is a little boy in his adorable cap. He's got a fan in his hand and a long braid. And he's in these little pants. This is really cute. Okay, this one I think is another little boy. The different style of cap. Very different clothing. think this might be regional or possibly minority Chinese, because this doesn't look as traditional to me, but I am by no means an expert. Okay, this obviously is a panda. A panda. This big ears and dark eyes, and he appears to have gloves on, which is interesting. And he's holding what I think is a lantern, and it says YYH on it. And underneath it is a picture of a building. But I'm trying to think what YYH could stand for. I actually have no idea. I don't think that it relates to anything at our university or in our town. I'm not sure what YYH is. This is a good one. This says Fu, which means wealth, and sort of luck, and there's a rooster next to it. This is a really nice rooster. I'm trying to think if this year would have been the year of the rooster, if that's why he chose it. I'm not a rooster, and I don't think Andy was either. I think most of my students were snakes. And they would actually use that as a reference to tell me how old they were, since it is by year. So they might say, I'm a snake, and then you know they were born in like 1990, I think. And this is a gongji. Okay, and this one seems very out of date because it says Guanyan, which is like past Guanyan law, like the year has passed. And then down here it says 2001. So I wonder if he made that a very long time ago, because now he would have been so young in 2001. He would have been like 10. Maybe he was making these when he was 10. I don't know. But this is a person. I'm not sure what's going on here, actually. It looks like there's smoke coming out. I can't tell if this is meant to be a mask or if they're holding something in front of their head. And this guy seems to be doing something. It looks like maybe lighting a firework, because this looks like fireworks to me. And on the new year, you're meant to light a lot of firecrackers in order to scare away a bad dragon, and it's really to scare away bad luck. So I think whatever this person is doing must be related to that. When I was in Vietnam, it was near the New Year, which they call Tet, and this man threw a firecracker at me out of nowhere, and it exploded at my feet, and I jumped, and he laughed and laughed and laughed, and I thought, well, that wasn't very nice. Okay, here we have two more kids, a boy and a girl, and they're holding lanterns again, and this lantern says Da, 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 which means big. And I don't recognize this as a word. It might be goo, but it looks a little weird to me. I'm not really sure what this part is supposed to be. It doesn't really look like a word to me. It is sideways. Well, not sure. Oh, and that's the last one. Well, in that case, I think that this first one and the second one with the two children, the two girls, are some of my favorites. Although, is it the year of the rooster now? I should look that up. because if it is, I should put this one up. But thank you for going through these with me. It was so special. It's always so special when someone has an artistic talent and they use it for me. So, I don't know, whenever I get something that is handmade, it's just, it feels so special and it's so appreciated. It's just lovely. So, this was really special to receive from a student and really unexpected. And Andy really was a good student. He's not a student anymore. He's a good person.